Good day, beautiful people, and welcome to another life-inspiring and life-changing video from The Arising. And I am still your faithful host, Oswaji Favor. Okay, after my book launch, a lot of people messaged me, and I saw a lot of messages that, okay, I want you to do a video on purpose. I want you to explain it because I'm finding it difficult to know what my purpose is on earth. I'm finding it difficult to know what I should do. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a video on this purpose, and today I'm talking about the topic titled, what is my purpose on earth? What is my purpose on earth? So the question of purpose has puzzled a lot of minds, not even in this generation, from the generation in the past, and it is still puzzling people too. It is still puzzling our minds now. We're asking ourselves, you ask yourself, what on earth am I here for? What am I meant to do? Where am I meant to go? Who am I to become? What are the things that I'm ought to do? You know, questions like that it pops up in your mind at one point in time or the other. So I'm very sure that this video is something that you've actually experienced, you've actually thought of, and I know a lot of videos that you've watched, that you might have watched in the past, or some people will say, to find your purpose, you have to start from your inner mind. You have to search yourself, search within, search your abilities, compare your strengths and your weaknesses, measure your talents, measure all those ones are just, they're additional. Like, they don't really define and tell you what your purpose on earth is. They are just coming from a theoretical aspect and not a practical aspect, because by the time you measure your abilities, you compare your strengths and weaknesses, you compare your talents, you measure everything, that does not really mean that, okay, that it will result in you knowing what your purpose on earth is. So my point today is that one of the things I'll be mentioning today is that to discover your purpose in life, it must start with God, continue with God, and also end with God. The reason is because He is our creator, and then there is no how you can discover your purpose outside of your creator. In this, on my YouTube channel, I've talked about purpose before. You can search out the video, what on earth am I here for? And in that video, I mentioned that if an inventor invents something, he knows that invention well better than we that we are just using it. For example, those who invented our phones that we use, our mobile phones, they know certain things. They not even certain. They know everything about the phone that even we that we're using it, we might not even know about it. You understand? They know areas at which they can just, you get what I'm saying? That's because they invented the phone. And so they know what they can do. They know it better than other people are supposed to know it. That's just how it is with God. He is your creator, and He knows you way better than what other people are telling you, that you have to start with your abilities. Fine and good. He gave you these abilities for a reason, so that you can measure certain things. But then, when you start searching for your purpose outside of God, I'm certain you will never find it. Because even in the Bible, in Colossians 1:16, you can check out that scripture. It says that for everything, absolutely everything, beneath the earth, above the earth, visible, invisible, finds its purpose in God. So when you're searching for your purpose outside of God, my dear, you are in the wrong place, you are on the wrong track, and you cannot find your purpose. Pray about it. God, what on earth am I here for? What are the things you want me to do? Who am I to become? What are the things you have in plan for me? What are the things you've created me to do? Questions like that, I'm serious, when you pray it, when you pray about it, and you're conscious and intentional about it, I can tell you, He will speak to you. Because the more you seek Him, the more you seek, even naturally, in academics, when you seek to know something the more, one day you will find the answer to it, don't you think so? So if you keep asking God, what on earth am I here for? What's my purpose? What are the things you want me to do? I feel you are going to get your answers to that. So don't let us be puzzled about what we should do, about who we are to become, about what the future holds for us. Everything is in God. Everything is in God. I'm coming from this angle today because that is the only angle I can come in from. That that is the only person I can talk of, that I can speak of, that can actually give you direction on what you need to do, on why he has created you. No human being on earth fell from heaven. No, we all came from God. So, and he's friendly, he's a father. You can just walk up to him and just ask him. So that's my first point for you, that you should seek God to find your purpose. Rick Warren wrote in his book that there are two ways. Rick Warren, like, you can check out the book, The Purpose-Driven Life. He wrote in that book that there are two ways by which you can discover your purpose. The first one is by speculation. You just guess, which most of us do. You say you measure your ability. After you've measured, then the next thing is that you guess. And why the second one is revelation, which is asking God, that I've mentioned earlier. In his book, he talked about something amazing that I'm going to share today. Rick Warren, he wrote in his book that a particular philosopher, Dr. Hugh Moorhead, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he wrote to the best philosophers in the world, the best scientists in the world, writers, intellectuals, asking them that what is the meaning of life? In other words, what is the purpose of life? You understand? And he actually, in his book, he spoke about how the philosopher published the response of the scientists, the philosophers, and all that. So they were like, okay, he said most of them gave their best guesses. They just guessed that, okay, philosophers, at times they never want to admit that they don't know a particular thing. So they just try to make up something to make them look good. So some of them gave their best guesses, coming from different angles. Some of them were like, okay, the meaning of purpose is this, the meaning of purpose of that. And some of them were like, okay, we don't know what the meaning of purpose is. I'm talking about the best philosophers in the world, the best writers in the world, the best intellectuals and scientists in the world. And some of them were like, okay, we don't know what purpose is. In case you get the answer, they were talking to Dr. Hugh Moorhead, that in case you get the answer, you can write to us back so that we can know the meaning of purpose. And so you're not even, I'm sorry to say, you're not even categorized as maybe one of the best intellectuals in the world or scientists in the world, and you're sitting guessing what your purpose is. I hope you're seeing the angle that I'm coming in from. If best philosophers, writers, scientists, and they cannot really guess what purpose, what it means to be, for our life to have meaning. So don't you feel like God is the only person that can answer that question? He really is the only person that can answer that question. Growing up, I have actually, I moved from one talent, I just moved from one occupation to the other, because we are almost all like that. When they ask you what do you want to become, you feel I want to become this. At first, I wanted to become a nurse. The reason is I feel I want to save lives. I like when I see people struggling, helping them and all. My family encouraged me. In fact, they started calling me something similar to a nurse growing up. But then, as life was taking me, and when I got to know God, when you know God, He orders your steps in ways you can never predict. So, starting from my secondary school, I did not go to science class. I went to the arts class. So everybody was like, okay, people, I want you to now be a lawyer. I was like, okay, being a lawyer is actually a good thing. You understand? If you come out and say I'm a lawyer, the way they look at you, wow. So I started going on that path that, okay, I'm going to be a lawyer. But I will ask myself, is there fulfillment to me being a lawyer? I don't see myself as a lawyer. So coming to the end of my secondary school days, I said, no, I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to be something else. I want to be a psychologist. Yes, that was where I started. I moved to, I'm like, okay, I love the way psychologists, then I believe that psychologists, they read your mind. Once they look at you, they can just say what you are thinking about, what you will do next, what you will say next. And I was actually intrigued by that. And going forward, here I am today doing counseling psychology, counseling and human development in the University of Ibadan. And that's because actually I allowed God to direct me. I gave him the chance to like lead me in the way that best pleases him, not the way that best pleases me, and not what I see like, okay, my talents. I start measuring my abilities. If I go to science, if I actually went to science class, assuming I went to science class, I would have actually thrived, because I don't know, that's just the kind of person I am. Wherever I find myself, I thrive. But then, will I be fulfilled? That's the most important thing. I might not be fulfilled. So, which is why I'll be introducing you to this book. This is my book. I wrote it, I launched it in June. And this book, Living in Your True Self, there's a segment that talks about purpose. Even the entirety of the book is based on purpose. How you live in who you're meant to be, and not just living your life based on what people around you want you to be. So you can get a copy of this book if by the end of this video, and even if you find this video helpful and something is still puzzling you that I want to know more about purpose, it is available. You can contact me on my number there, and there's also like other numbers that you can contact, and you can also message us at The Arising on any of our social media platforms. I can assure you that the book will be very helpful. You can go through it, and then I'm sure you have your answers, because I wrote this based on the inspiration of God. You know, it led me to actually write something like this, and I've received reviews of people that have read it. They're like, Favor, wow, this book has given me direction, and I know what I have to do and what God is leading me to do. So you can check out this book. There's a section for purpose. There's a section talking about God directing your life. It's just based on life purpose, but you can just pick whatever is talking to you, because the book is also talking about self-acceptance. So if it is self-acceptance you need to hear about, you want to read about, it is about self-acceptance. It is about purpose as well. So please get a copy of this book. Make sure it is a book that you don't just buy and keep on your shelves of books, and it is a book you have in your bag all the time and you read. So contact me, contact any of the numbers that will be showing on the screen right now to get a copy of this book. So in conclusion, to find your purpose, first find God. That is just all I can say about purpose. If you want to find your purpose, find God and ask Him about it. Don't just be there and trying to like guess and speculate. It might not end well, so ask God. He's your creator. He knows you way better than you know yourself. He knows why you are even where you are, why you are in that family, why you are in this country. He knows you. He knows why you are where you are, and He knows what He has created you to do. So don't be confused. Don't be bothered about the fact that, okay, your life might not be going in a particular direction that you want now. Just ask God about it, okay? Ask God. He's the all-knowing God. So, and I can assure you that when you do that, you will certainly have the answers to your question. And I hope that you found this video very helpful. It has helped you have clarity on what you need to do in finding your purpose on earth. And like I said, I recommended the book, so you can get it. You can also get Rick Warren's book, The Purpose Driven Life. It is also a good book that I can recommend. I've read it and it has been helpful, so you can also read it. And that'll be bringing me to the end of this video. I hope you find it helpful. You can share with other people, like, subscribe, share with other people around you, and God bless you. Thank you for watching this video till the very end. I am still Oswald Favor. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also to follow me on all my social media platforms. Thank you, and God bless you once again.